Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. I hope you're having a wonderful week. It's December. Holy moly, I cannot believe it. Wow. I think I say that every month though, so it's like I should click one of these days that, yeah, time goes fast. It's wild. So I hope you're having a wonderful time. I think I said that already. Oh, we're off to a rocky start. I've got a call that I have to take in like a little over half an hour, so I've got plenty of time to do this, and I've been right out straight all week, so it's kind of like this is my decompress time. I'm feeling like, yeah, the weekend is here. It's time for Sat Chat. It's time to get together with my peeps. Oh, exciting news. If you are enrolled in Hand Painted Holiday, if you bought it in the past at any time, log in because it's a brand new module. Every year I add a new series of lessons for people to do. So if you buy one of my classes, you get all the updates for free. You don't have to pay. Like if you buy a class and I add a lesson to it in the future, you'll just have access to that. So if you're enrolled in Hand Painted Holiday, log on and check out the new stuff. This is what we did. I actually remember I was talking about doing bookmarks. I turn that light away a little bit. So these are the designs. These are 3 of them, and I made them so that you can print out a PDF, and you're gonna have all 4 arranged on a single sheet of paper. There's the other one. I don't know if it's going to focus. I think if I put it in front of my face so it can't focus on my face, it'll focus. Maybe I can do that like this. Hopefully, I'm going to peek through. Okay, these should be in front of the screen. So these projects are there. And as I was doing these bookmarks, I'm like, I want to make them nice and big. And then I was thinking, these would be really cool for slimline cards. So if like a slimline card, if you don't know what a slimline card is, it's a card that, is like it would fit in like a number 10 or regular business envelope. So I'm like, that would be so cute to do these and put them on a card front, because especially for a Christmas card or a holiday card, a lot of times we're giving gifts, maybe giving checks or cash, things like that. Maybe you have a business and you're going to give your employees some cash. That's perfect because you can take one sheet of cardstock, you could fold like this, but then the leftover piece you can fold up and make a little pocket for cash. You can even punch a circle where like the dead president's face would be, so it can peek out of the little window and say, hello, I'm Benjamin Franklin, Merry Christmas, or whatever. But I was just thinking that's perfect. And so I do offer the patterns in there so you can make these, and it's going to print out on one sheet if you use a PDF, or if you just take the JPEG and you do fit to page. But if you wanted to crop it and just do like one design, or you want to shrink it, make it smaller, more like typical bookmark size, you could. Or if you wanted to like crop it so you've got like an A2 or a 5x7 card, like use half of a design, then you could do that too and do like a regular card. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. I didn't bring down my Post-it note that says like all the stuff that's in Hand Painted Holiday now, because the class has gotten really big with all the content. Because I put it up in 2019 and there were 3 or 4 cards and 6 tags, and then every year I added something. So I think now we've got something like 11 cards that are about 5x7. We've got like, I'm thinking 9 tags. I think it's more than 9 tags. 3 ornaments, 4 bookmarks. Yeah, it's all kind of, maybe it's like 13 tags. I don't know, there's a lot in there. And so I will be raising the price next year on that class to $79 like my other full courses are. The 30 days courses are more because I have so much in them. But so for now, the class is still $39, and I will give you an extra $10 off. There's a coupon code GOTSNOW in the video description. So grab it now. It's never going to be cheaper. You'll be able to get in at $29, and you have access to all of the past stuff, and you'll have access to anything I put in there in the future. So if you wait till next year, yeah, I'll put it on sale again when I run it, but the sale price won't be less than probably like, I don't know, $40 or $45 or something. So if you want to grab it now, save $10 off the current price, but it's going up next year. I like to be very transparent with what I plan to do with pricing, because I don't like it when I buy something and then I see it go on sale. That's really irksome to me, and so I don't want to do that to anybody else. So I'm letting you know like how my pricing is going to go. This is the cheapest you're going to be able to buy it from. I mean, obviously when I first launched the class, I only had 6 tags and 3 or 4 cards in there, so the price of the class was was $39. That's where I started at, and then I would put it on sale because I figured like that's a really good value. But now I've got so much extra in there, and then it takes a lot more time to respond to students, and so I put a lot more time in per student as the class gets bigger. So that's why I price the classes the way I do, just because of the time investment in there. And yeah, I hope it's something you're interested in, because it was fun. I really enjoyed making these editions. Actually, I always enjoy what I put in every year. It definitely puts me in the Christmas spirit. And speaking of being in the Christmas spirit, I posted a time lapse of this painting the other day. I'll turn to my light again. And this was so fun to paint, but then I put snow on it, and I'm like, I don't know if I like the snow. And I took a photo before, and actually if you're if you're in Critique Club, I'll put a link to Critique Club too in case you're interested. If you're in Critique Club, you would have seen where because I'm like, I'm gonna take a photo of this in case I totally mess it up. I took a photo of it, and then I added the snow, and you kind of get that moment when you like do something like that to a picture, and you're like, oh, was that a mistake? I don't know, and I was kind of like, oh, did I ruin it? And so I posted on Instagram, like, did I ruin this by putting the snow on? I still think it's really cute, but I didn't know if it was better before. And it was probably more like 95% people said better with the snow. And there are a few people like, I liked it before the snow, but most people were saying, no, it's way better with the snow. It's more magical. I'm thinking about, because I said if people wanted me to, I'm going to try waxing that watercolor, and then what I think I'll do is have Jason cut me a piece of plywood that's 5x7, because I was looking at the scrap wood bin and I noticed there were some pretty good sized pieces of plywood in there. I think I'm going to have him cut me a piece of plywood that size, and then what I'm going to do is take a couple Jenga blocks and glue them to the back, and what you can do is you can use that as a hanging device, so you can have like a floater frame, and it's so cheap. And I get the dollar store Jenga blocks, so it's even cheaper. Or you could use a scrap of wood. You just need two, because you put one on each end, so on the top and the bottom, so it keeps it like floating in front of the wall perfectly. Anyway, so I'm gonna do that eventually, and I will do a video on that here on YouTube. But if you'd like the real-time version of that Christmas door, it's over 2 hours of real-time instruction. I just want to say that because sometimes people will be like, they'll watch a time lapse and they'll see it's 20 minutes, and they'll be like, man, I can't do that in 20 minutes, and they'll feel bad. And no, it took way longer. So yeah, that's up in Critique Club. Critique Club is my membership group. $5 a month gets you access to everything I've ever posted. So that's a super duper good value. So yeah, if you want to check that out, I'll put a link to that in the video description, or you can check out the time lapse and watch how it came together and see if that's something you'd be interested in. But just like the hand-painted holiday, you're going to have access, as long as you're a member in Critique Club, you have access to the entire back catalog of Critique Club. But that is a subscription based, but hand-painted holiday is a lifetime access, buy it once, have it forever type of class. Oh, my goodness, I'm tired from all this shameless promotion. Thank you so much for indulging me. I do appreciate it. I guess one more bit of shameless promotion is there are still spots available in week 2 of the France Paint Your Vacation trip next year. I'm not going to blab about that anymore. There's a promo on my YouTube channel. There's a link in the description if you want to find out more. If you want to come and paint with me for a week in France, it's going to be a great time. So I'll just leave that down there if you want to check it out. I can't imagine you haven't heard me talk about it by now. And now I can actually get to I just keep like random little notes on my phone throughout the week. And like, oh, that might be kind of fun to talk about. I've been working, like, I'm nose to the grindstone this week. I have not, any procrastination I've done has been productive procrastination, meaning it's like, oh, I cleaned this studio. It was like, my head was so cluttered because my room was so cluttered. And, I'll show you. It's just like, oh yeah, I can move around. I cleaned the entire studio. I moved furniture around. I'm quite proud of myself. It's probably gonna get real dark over there. There may be a cobweb. Let's not be picky here. But yeah, I cleaned the place up and I felt so good afterwards. And I also cleaned the room of Horde a bit because that was also getting a little scary. I vacuumed. I only vacuum down here about once a month. I'm the only one that comes down here. It doesn't get that bad, but what really, it's like the little bits of paper and glitter and stuff like that hits the floor. So yeah, I need to tidy that up once in a while. And yeah, it seems like before I'm going to do something like class-wise, add a new module to a class or start a new class, it's like I need to clean everything just to give my brain like a bit of clarity, just to kind of clear dust. It's like I clear out the cobwebs in my mind, Oh, speaking of fun, like clearing the cobwebs of your mind, I don't know how I came upon this, but I'll try to find it. I've only come across these by chance on YouTube, and they're YouTube shorts. And I'm usually not a fan of YouTube shorts, but there's this guy, and he does these. It's an animation, but it looks real. And I was like, how did he do that? So it's like he has a xylophone, right? And he's like these little bars of the xylophone, and they're on a wall, and there's a marble that drops and goes ting, 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 and it hits all the xylophone. But I watched one a couple weeks ago, and it was like the Mission Impossible theme. So like every time the marble hit a xylophone, it's like a Rube Goldberg puzzle thing. Every time the marble hits the xylophone, it makes a ting, and so there was ting, 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 and it was Mission Impossible, and he loops it so good that I was watching that like a 1 minute short for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't know, I was with a big grin on my face. I don't know what it was about that, but I just found that so delightful. And then I saw another one today, and it was like, I don't know what it was. It was so familiar though. I think it was like maybe like a Wii Sports or a Wii game. It was definitely some sort of video game song. It was dun 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 dun. So I think that might be Weeks. I know I've heard it before, so I probably like heard the kids playing it, and it was just so like, maybe it's the nostalgia. I think it's like a combination of delightful nostalgia and just the novelty of like watching the ball, the magnet kind of like, not the magnet, the marble kind of like plink 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 plink, like falling down this it's like these xylophones, like xylophone bars are like sticking out of a wall, and watching the marble just kind of ting, 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 like fall down and bounce on all those notes perfectly. Oh, it was so satisfying. It's almost like you feel like this warm, like you've just slipped into a warm bath. I mean, that's like, it's just so, I don't know what it is, but it's just like, maybe it's like what people that like ASMR, my hair's a little weird, what people that like ASMR, why they enjoy it. I think that's that feeling, because people have described what the ASMR feeling is. It's like when people like to hear like packages being opened and whispering and stuff like that. I don't get that, but I get the xylophone thing. That is just, I'll try to find that creator and link to him, because it's just very delightful. You're having a bad day, you're stressed out. It's like that's what it is. It's like de-stressing. If you're stressed out and you watch that, it's just like, like someone's giving your shoulders a rub. I don't know. It's very relaxing. I don't know why I have that reaction to it, but I very much enjoy it. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be able to handle not coloring my hair, because the roots are getting to me. It seems like it's fairly well blended in real life, but then when I look back at like doing a sat chat, I'm like, oh my gosh, my roots, I have like an inch of dark roots, and it's driving me nuts. But in real life, I think it looks all right. It's kind of like more of like a sandy blonde, but I feel like it looks like really bright and then really dark. So I don't know. On the fence. We'll see how long I can hold out. I got invited to a cookie party later this month, and I've been invited before, and then last year, maybe the last couple of years, I didn't get invited. And I've always been kind of like hemming and hawing. It's like, do I want to go to this cookie party? And so here's the premise. Here's why I've been intimidated to go, is because you have to bake cookies, and they have to be fancy cookies. They can't be like the stuff I usually bake, which is like drop cookies. Like I'll make some, oatmeal peanut butter rounds or chocolate chip cookies, or like I'll make really easy stuff that isn't very fancy or pretty, and it's vegan, right? So I've got to come up with a fancy vegan cookie recipe. Well, I don't have to come up with a vegan cookie recipe, but if I'm making dozens of cookies, I would like to try them, be able to try them and make sure they're not gross, basically. And so I can never think of something that like I think other people will like that will also be fancy. But I've always said no. I've always just ignored the invitation. And I feel bad, because these women that go are nice, and this is the year of yes, so I think this is the year I go to the cookie party. So what I was thinking, my friend Kathy and I made molasses cookies once, and they were a rolled out cookie, and I'm like, if I iced those, I think they would be fancy enough. And they were vegan, and they were really good, and her recipe made a humongous amount. So what you do, the premise of a cookie party, is that everybody makes like a couple dozen, I can't remember how many dozen cookies, and you bring them in, and then everybody takes home like so many of each kind. I can't remember how much it is, but there's a lot of people going. So maybe everybody brings 3 home, and there's like 20 people going there. So you end up with this humongous plate of cookies, and we're hosting Christmas Eve, and this is like a few days before Christmas. So, or the weekend before Christmas. So then I figured that would be great, because then I have all these beautiful cookies, and I can put them out on Christmas Eve for people to enjoy, because I'm not going to eat all those cookies because they'll have eggs and stuff in it. And, you know, I'm sure the kids and Jason would like them and stuff, but I mean, you're not going to eat that many cookies as a family. So, so I thought that would be kind of fun. And I think I could either do those molasses cookies and ice them, or I could do shortbread cookies, because I used to enjoy making shortbread cookies, and they're a rolled out cookie. And I don't know, I associate rolled out cookies with being kind of fancy. So that's my thought. If you know of any really good fancy vegan cookie recipes that I could handle, I am not a fussy cooker. I really hate following a recipe. I just took 2 gorgeous loaves of sourdough bread out of the oven like half an hour ago. So gorgeous, you know, but the thing is, I was like, I wonder what would happen if I didn't score the top, because last time I scored the top, I deflated a loaf, and it was like so heartbreaking. So I'm like, I wonder if I don't score the loaf, what will happen? And so I didn't, and it like did the, you know, alien, like, it still looks cute. It still looks delicious. Let me tell you, they look like they're going to be so delicious. But I didn't score it, just see what would happen. And yeah, it's like, that's how I bake. I put stuff together and see what will happen. And that's not going to cut it for fancy cookie party time. So if you have some recipes or you have some advice, what I actually will probably need is a good icing recipe, because what I'd like to do, I'm thinking like, let's keep it chic, let's keep it classy for the cookies. I'm not going to wow anybody. I'm not going to be the most talented chef in the room. I can tell you that. I just want to like tread water here. I'm not looking to impress anybody. I just want it to be passable. I'm looking for a pass-fail grade here. I just want to pass. I'm not going to like Martha Stewart it up and impress anybody. I just want to be like, you know, yes, you can come to our party. You're allowed in the door with those, you know. And we turned away with my ugly cookies. So I'm thinking that it would be really classy to cut out a bunch of snowflake cookies with like the molasses cookies, or maybe the shortbread, but the molasses, because they're dark, and do white piped icing. I do not have a white icing recipe. Usually if I'm making icing, I just take like a little bit of soy milk and some confectioner's sugar and some vanilla and whisk it up and call it a day. That's my icing. But I think that's a little too loose to like hold a design. So I was thinking piping snowflakes on some snowflake shaped cookies would do the trick. I thought that would be kind of elegant. That would be cute. Another idea, and I'm having this like memory, and maybe it's a false memory, but I'm having a memory of making little Scotty dog shaped shortbread cookies. I don't know if this is a false memory or if it's an article I saw on Martha Stewart Living Once or what, but I'm thinking that I actually made these cookies at one point, but I didn't ice them. But what if I iced them with cute little blankets on their back in Christmas colors? That might be a little too fancy, but I'm liking that idea. And you know, I can do hard things. I can bake rolled cookies. And I think those would be really cute. And honestly, I like the flavor of shortbread cookies more than molasses cookies. So I recall, it's been probably a decade since I've tried either, so I don't know. I could be having all the false memories. I might not like either of them. I don't know. I just think it'd be fun to go to a party. Hang out with a bunch of ladies and cookies. I don't know. It just is such an un-me thing to do, so I thought, why not? Year of Yes, right? This is the last month of the Year of Yes. I need to finish strong. I gotta finish strong. The whole French trip is because of the Year of Yes. Past Lindsay, before the Year of Yes, would be like, no thank you. I am not flying to another country. Nope. I don't travel well. But I'm like, no, I'm very excited about this. And yeah, I mean, how hard can it be? Famous last words. Oh, hey, I haven't even looked at my list yet, guys. Haven't even looked at it. Oh my goodness. So I hopefully will have the flat tree video up tomorrow. It is filmed, it is not edited. So that will be a little bit of work either tonight or tomorrow to get that done. But the thing is, I think I would really like to get this up soon. So if people want to try this project, they've got time to enjoy it the whole month mostly. I don't know if I'm necessarily recommending the project though, because it was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. And the wow factor wasn't quite there. But then last weekend I put the glass ornaments on it. I went up in the attic and I got my favorite ornaments. My favorite ornaments are, I'm not a very sentimental person, I have to say. My favorite ornaments are these German glass ornaments we have. Actually, my sister-in-law got them for us and she's passed away and I miss her dearly. So maybe I am a little sentimental. Maybe that's why I like them so much. But so I put the glass ornaments on and I mean, nothing's gonna rattle the tree because it's on the wall. and I don't have to worry about them getting broken, and the cats don't bother the tree anyway. But after I put the ornaments on, it was so much prettier, and I'm like, oh, I like this now. I really do. The kids are kind of like, well, that's all right for this year, but we wouldn't want to do that every year. So I was kind of feeling bad, and I think Jason was a little bit disappointed in the flat tree. So I'm like, well, my friend Cindy offered to give me her tree, so I'm going to pick it up. I'm actually going to call her. Cindy, if you're watching, I will be over to get that tree within the next couple of days, I promise. And I'm bringing you a huge honking bag of art supplies in exchange, and a loaf of sourdough bread. I'm just going to use this for, instead of calling anybody, let me just tell everybody that I know. Nobody watches my video. I think Cindy does, but most people I know don't watch this video. Where are we? We got 8 minutes. Where was I? Oh, so I'm going to take that tree. It's a 7-footer. We've got cathedral ceilings upstairs in the addition, which is our master bedroom for now until it becomes my art studio when everyone is officially moved out of the house. I'm going to put that upstairs in front of one of the big windows because it's a huge room. We've got plenty of room for presents to go under it. We got plenty of room on Christmas morning for everyone to sit around and open presents. And we don't have the room for a big tree in the living room when we're hosting Christmas Eve because we have it's a ranch. It's not a big house. And when you've got people mingling around, you know, the tree is just kind of taking up a lot of space. And I mean, we can do it. We've done it before, but I think it would just be a little bit nicer to have a little more flow. And that will solve the problem of having the tree. Oh, and the other thing though, that's really going to be exciting for me is that I've always wanted to do a Christmas tree that is like vintage 50s and 60s looking, you know, with like the ornaments that instead of being like Christmas green and Christmas gold and Christmas red and Christmas silver, I want to do the pastel metallic ornaments. So I want pink and lime green and turquoise and silver, and yeah, I'm going to be vibing 1960s, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the elves. I'm totally going to be catching that vibe. It's going to be so kitschy and Christmassy because our bedroom is teal and red, and it's like a crimson red and like a tealy turquoise color. So it's just perfect for those vintage vibes. I am ready for the Christmas kitsch. So I think so, like silver tinsel, and I saw some of those pastel metallic ornaments somewhere. I'm thinking it was either Ocean State Job Lot or it was at the plus section of Dollar Tree. It had to be one of those two places. I don't go many places, so it's got to be one of those two places. So hopefully they're still there because I don't have anything like that because we've always, my living room is burgundy and cream and brown and, you know, just more earthy, like it used to be avocado. It's like those more like earthy moss, you know, deep reds, brick, you know, it's very traditional colors. I mean, I like that, and I've always liked that, but it's very warm and cozy. But I always wanted a kitschy Christmas themed tree, so that's gonna be fun. I'll be able to do that. So that's my plan. Hopefully I can edit the flat Christmas tree video and get to town and pick up that Christmas tree. I don't know. I plan a lot in a day. Today I was thinking I'm gonna have all this time in the middle of the day because it's Friday. I've filmed all my handmade holiday stuff. I just got to get that all tidied up and uploaded and clean up my studio because I did leave it in a mess last night. But I like to start the day on a hill. And that's basically like when you start the day, like, you know, when the authors will say they'll like stop writing in the middle of a sentence. So when they sit down to write the next day, they, you know, can get going. They've got something to finish. So I like to do the same thing. So I'll leave a big mess so that I know, like, when I come down to my studio, what I'm doing. The first thing, I'm cleaning up that mess. Because otherwise I can kind of like in a clean studio, I can sit and just look around and twiddle my thumbs and not know what to do. So if I start on a hill, if I start without finishing everything for the day, because I get kind of like compulsive and it's like I want to finish it. Anything I start, I want to finish it right away before I lose interest. So a lot of times I end up finishing everything and working late, but instead it's like, no, leave some stuff undone, unedited, uncleaned so that you can start, you have something to start on. You don't have to think about what to start. It takes away a decision, so you have a decision saved for something more creative. So it helps avoid decision fatigue. At least that's what I think. That seems to really help me like get stuff done. And it works. I mean, not to say that I'm never going to waste time again. I still waste time once in a while, quite frequently, quite often. But at least I am productive with my time wasting, my productive procrastination. My phone went to sleep, so I'm trying to find my my list. Oh, goodness. Here we go. So I ordered my Christmas cards. And so I kind of alternated. A couple of years ago, I always would hand make my Christmas cards. When the twins were born, I did a photo card, and people were kind of disappointed with that, coming from like, you know, elaborate handmade cards to a photo card. But seriously, I had like 2-month-old babies. That was it. That was all that was getting done. It was that or nothing, people. Count yourself lucky you're getting a card, because I'm not making them. And people are kind of disappointed. I did print them at home. It was kind of like last minute, but I got them out there, got them in the mail. And then since then I've been hand making them, but then like it was a year before last, the girls were seniors, my twins were seniors, and they were applying to colleges. It was a very stressful season of life. I was very stressed out because you had the deadline to apply to a lot of schools was like December 1st, because if you want to be, if you want to be in line for any of the merit scholarships and whatnot. And so that was very stressful because I didn't know where they were going to go, and they're applying to all these different places, and you don't know what it's going to cost until you apply and they come back with their offer. So it was very stressful. And I had this tax paperwork that I had to file by the end of the year, and the IRS came up with the new form, and I thought I had an extra form. So what I usually do is I'll order an extra form so that when I'm filling it out, I can fill it out messy, then I have an extra one that I can copy over really neatly. I probably have some sort of disorder, because it's like I need a messy form and then I'm going to copy it over with my best writing, and I didn't have an extra form, and I thought I did, and I lost it. I was unglued. I had the biggest freak out of my life, and Jason goes, I'm going to handle Christmas cards this year. And he took one of my paintings and he went over to went on the computer and went up to Vistaprint and ordered the cards, and it was fine. Everything was great. And it was a print of my artwork sent out to everybody. It was wonderful. And I'm like, that's a great idea. And so I did a painting last year of a candy cane, and I thought this would be a great Christmas card next year. And so, yeah, I just ordered them the other day. And so I was, I saw an ad on TV, which reminded me I got to get those done. And it was like a 50% off, holiday 50. And so I'm like, oh, great. So in my mind, I'm thinking these cards are going to cost me like $35 to print like 60. It was more like $70 to print 60. The regular price would have been $140. So I had my numbers mixed up in my head somewhere. But then I'm like, oh, or I can spend $30 and get free shipping. I could order more cards. But I'm like, no, they'll just sit there. I don't need more than 60. And I was trying to figure out, do I want to order more to get free shipping? I'm like, no, I'm just going to order this and pay the $10 shipping. And then I realized about 2 hours later, when Vistaprint is advertising to me on my email that they have calendars, and I could have just ordered the scrapbook calendar that I make for my mother every year instead of like making it by hand. I could have just Vistaprinted it, and I was like, oh. But please tell me that it's so much nicer to get a handcrafted scrapbook calendar than to just get a pre-made printed calendar. Please tell me that I'm not like, I didn't just, pay shipping for nothing and spend days of making a scrapbook calendar that would be just as good as if I printed it digitally. I don't know. I'm just telling myself that no, a handmade scrapbook with the papers and the embellishments and the layers and bound is just so much nicer than, getting one printed from Vistaprint or Shutterfly or whatever. Because, I don't know, do you hate paying shipping? I hate paying shipping. I just hate paying shipping. And it's like, oh, I could have just ordered that calendar. But I'm just like, no, it's going to be so much better than I made it by hand. Just like my cards probably would have been better if I made them by hand. I don't know. I'm liking the getting them printed. And then it's like the expense. I'm thinking, oh, I'm just paid $70 for these cards. And then, I'm going to pay another, I don't know, $50 to mail them, the postage, and I don't think about that, because if I'm like printing stuff out at home, or I'm making stuff at home, it's like I already paid for those supplies years ago. So that's already paid for. And I've already bought those stamps like months ago. So I'm not thinking about that, So it seems like I'm sending cards for free, but it's not. It probably costs twice as much to do it that way, but I just don't think of it. I'm not thinking of the ink cartridges and all the supplies I bought and all of that. It's funny, we kind of like compartmentalize it in our minds, and it seems more expensive when we have to pay it all at once. But anyway, that's all I have. I'm about out of time. Can you believe that? I haven't even hit everything on my list. But we'll talk about the Want Monster next week. So let me tell you, the Want Monster broke out of its cage, and it was bad, but I don't have time to get into that this week. We'll talk about it next week, and you can prepare your Want Monster stories for me, or tell me what you bought during Black Friday in the comments below, because make me not feel like I am a horrible Want Monster consumerist, because man, some of those sales got me. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful day. Check out my classes, links in the video description. I'd love to see you in the hand painted holiday class. If you're already there, make sure you check out the new stuff. You don't have to pay again. If you bought it once, you got it for life. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.